You are going to discover the best way to visit the Cliffs of Moher on the wild west coast of Ireland, the country's most popular natural attraction. Spectacular sea cliffs 700 feet high dropping vertically into the Atlantic Ocean, with a trail along the edge and numerous vistas from which you can enjoy it. We're going to show you some of the best angles with tips so that you can get the most out of your experience. Whether you're just watching it now or hopefully going there yourself in person. As you can see, it's an amazing destination. Not only is it a visual feast, but it's a real physical experience of being here at the edge of a cliff. And yes, you can go right up to the edge. You need to be very careful. Don't get too close to the edge and watch your footing, but you will be fine. Take your time, sit down, and soak in the view. We're showing the vista from the south side of the visitor center, and there's also the view from the north side of the visitor center. So you have two different angles to enjoy it from. And depending on the lighting and time of day, one angle is usually better than the other one. The most enjoyable strategy when visiting is be sure you have at least 1 hour so that you can experience both viewpoints. Starting at the visitor center, then up the main steps, then later take a left and walk along the cliff. On the map, you'll see the route that most people start with, passing the visitor center and going up those stairs, and then head south where you get to walk along the cliff and get a different experience altogether, which is usually more spectacular than that first viewpoint. We shall explain the details of this routing with these illustrated arrows, the blue arrow pointing up those main steps, and the red arrow pointing towards the cliff walk we'll get to in a minute. But first, let's take you up that main vista. It's a bit uphill, but there's an efficient series of steps and ramps that'll bring you right up there. Up to O'Brien's Tower. From here, you get a really commanding view looking at that classic lineup right out of a postcard. However, at midday, sometimes the lighting from this side is not so great. In late afternoon, it's fine, but at midday, when most people visit, you also want to go around to the south side. Just continue along the path and you'll soon find better lighting at the cliff's edge. When visiting the Cliffs of Moher, you can come around to the south side from the visitor center, and you'll have some excellent lighting over here. And you can also walk quite close to the edge and look straight down. It's very dramatic. Very scenic. It just takes about 10 minutes from the visitor center, and you'll have that sunnier view with much better lighting on the cliffs. To get to the south side viewing, just follow the paved sidewalk, and then you will be leaving the grounds of the Cliffs of Moher Visitor Center onto what's called the unsupervised path. Use extreme caution beyond this point. You'll see there's an inner and outer paths with a stone barricade separating the two. It's easy to climb over the barricade or just step through various gaps in this stone fence. And most people, it seems, enjoy walking on that path closer to the edge. While you do have permission to walk on the dirt path, the park does offer several warnings. Stay on the official trail and do not wander to the cliff edge. Wear appropriate footwear. Check the weather before accessing the trail to ensure the conditions are suitable. And sometimes hang on to each other. Well, we had beautiful weather today, visiting in the month of May, perfect sunshine, ideal conditions. As you walk along further, the view keeps changing, always getting better and better. And when you come around a little further on the south side, you get even more of a sweeping panorama of the cliffs. This only takes you about 20 minutes from the visitor center, so it's something you don't want to miss. Be especially wary if you're prone to vertigo or if you have any kind of fear of heights. You can easily stay in from the edge. Otherwise, you can walk along and enjoy the view looking down, but always taking great care. This easy, scenic path out from the visitor center continues along for about half a mile, always with fascinating views in both directions. And if you're a hardcore hiker, you could continue south for another couple of miles all the way down to Hag's Head. There's a well-defined trail along the cliff the entire way. But for most casual park visitors, this is far enough. You don't need to go up that final slope uphill to the top point, because the view you get up there is about the same as the view you're getting from the lower point. So it makes a lovely round trip walk. You could do this portion in a half hour if you want, or maybe stretch it out to sit down, enjoy the views, and take a lot of pictures along the way. Stretch it into 1 hour if you like. If you have that time, it would be worthwhile to go slowly. This is surely one of the great views on our planet. And yes, it has been named such in various polls. Now you can see my secret of how I'm getting these shots looking out over the edge. I have my camera out on a pole, so I'm not really walking that close to the edge, just sticking the camera out for you. But it is wonderful that you can actually get that close to the edge, enjoying a slightly scary scene and yet feeling quite safe. Anybody who can walk can enjoy this adventure. And yet, many visitors fail to take this walk. They arrive, they go to the visitor center, they'll walk up the staircase, as we'll show you coming up in a moment, but walking along this dirt trail is really something very special, and it is so easy and safe to do. You might want to walk along this south portion first and then carry on to that main visitor viewpoint, follow the path back and exit from this unsupervised path, easily following the stone-paved routing, maybe take a break for lunch, and then down some steps and around the bend. Then you can easily walk along up that slight hill to the main viewpoint, which is also really quite nice. You can get a lovely view depending on the lighting as described earlier. You're up here by Clifford's Tower, which you can enter if you pay a small fee to get even a better view. Notice this stone ledge down below. It used to be, in the old days, that you could actually walk out on that ledge to get an amazing view looking straight down the cliffs. But because of security and safety measures, they've blocked it off now. You can't go out there anymore. If you've been following our suggestions, you can walk along that south end of the cliff trail and get similar views looking straight down. Overall, you're going to find that the Cliffs of Moher provide a spectacular visitor experience. And when you're done, if you have time left, hopefully you can enter the visitor center, which has a wonderful multimedia display of the history, the geography, and the geology of the area. You'll learn about the puffins and 20 other bird species that live in the area, with 30,000 pairs of breeding birds. Sit in the small theater for the wraparound video display about life above and below the ocean waters in the cliff area. It's all included in your admission fee to the park. This visitor center is something that you do not want to miss. And also they have got a snack bar, a cafe, and a gift shop with a nice range of Irish souvenirs. On the map, you can see the location of the Cliffs of Moher on the west coast of Ireland, and nearby we're going to visit another attraction called the Burren. It's a short drive on some scenic roads to get there, turning inland from the coastal route to get to the Burren National Park. Scenery changes quickly from green hills to a gray, rocky landscape. The area is mostly barren limestone of a pale gray color in the form of rocky hills rising to a height of about 800 to 1,000 feet. It originally formed as sediments at the bottom of a tropical sea about 325 million years ago. It finally emerged as the barren limestone that we see today. Starting millions of years ago, glaciers expanded and retreated over the region several times while stripping off the surface that had become a lush forest. But by 10,000 years ago, it was mostly bare rock. And yet, some people lived here. We got out of the van to visit one of their historic sites. Stopping into Burren to have a look at an ancient prehistoric tomb. It's a dolmen. They estimate it's about 6,000 years old and had 38 skeletons in the ground there. ancient prehistoric burial site. In the Burren, you've got about 90 of these still standing. Very important historic remains. By this Neolithic period, about 6,000 years ago, people had arrived and began changing the landscape through deforestation, likely by overgrazing and burning, and the building of stone walls. So the exposed limestone pavement that we see today is a combined result of the glaciers and soil erosion from rain and removal of the woodlands for farming, creating a stone surface that is quite irregular, even though it does have patches of greenery and grass growing, but it's a little tricky to walk on it, so it's better to stick to the gravel path, which will lead you right to an artist who is selling his jewelry, made with some traditional motifs. Did you make some of this?
Yeah, make it all.
Oh, wow. It's nice to see the artist out here in the open with his simple table of beautiful handmade jewelry, selling it directly to the visitor. And then we get back in the van and continue along on our drive, passing more of this beautiful scenery. We'll see lots of cows, there's sheep out there, plenty of stone walls and little villages as we drive along. Heading south on our way to Dingle, which we show you in another one of our movies. Be sure to look for it in our collection. We upload a new movie every week, so please subscribe to our channel, then you'll be notified. And if you enjoyed the movie, how about a thumbs up? And we always welcome comments down below. It really helps us spread the word. Thank you. Be sure to look at our Ireland series for the complete picture that opens the door to this magical country.